Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, I want to talk about what's going on Flare. Yeah, the price has moved down. We were all expecting that after F assets launch, people were going to take profits. And I feel like that is not the first time that it happens on crypto. After crypto moves a lot, it usually has a cool down. And then it also coincided that we had terrible market conditions in the last few months. So that didn't help, of course. But having said that, like these numbers speak by itself. The TVL keeps growing. The stable coin market cap keeps growing. The F assets is insane. We have more than 50 million XRP minted, and the activity just keeps going on. And I think that that should be telling you all you need to know, because if there's good, reliable activity on the network and people are using it, like that means that people are going to keep using it. There's no reason to panic. I think that if you were bullish a month ago on Flare, right now you should be drooling at the prices and just do whatever you need to do to accumulate more, because like this is not a short term game. I feel like the idea that DeFi is like a meme coin, that's completely erroneous. This is something that you're going to see the results of your efforts in the future, not tomorrow. So like any Flare that you buy right now, if the price goes up, you ride and compound that appreciation with it. So there's many ways to make Flare on the Flare network without even buying, just with the things that you have. If you have some FXRP, if you have Flare already, there's a lot of liquidity pools with really juicy incentives. So yeah. The other thing that I want to talk about is the resilience that the Flare network has shown against these market conditions. I think it was October 10th where we had that massive liquidation and people were panicking, protocols were being halted, people liquidity was drawing dry, and I was opening liquidity pools at that point. Like I saw that there was a low liquidity on certain and the FXRP pair, and I immediately deposited some FXRP there, and it's been super like on that position from October 10th. I made 13% return on investment in 19 days. Everybody was complaining about price action, and my LP was printing money. Yesterday, I opened another LP and I captured all the volatility. It printed money. I exited a little bit below my entry price, and then I took that stable coins that I had. I bought more FXRP, and now FXRP or XRP is above. So I think that that is something that you can't really put a price on it. Like having a good, reliable, resilient network that is not shiny, that does not, like does not scream price increase. But ultimately, that's the most important, because what's the point of having an amazing protocol that if something happens, it just crashes and then you lose all your money? So I think that yeah, there's many things. There was a problem with M Hyper, and yeah, so there was problems with Chainlink. Chainlink has had a lot of Oracle issues that had led to many $1 million of capital loss. What was the last one that we had?
So they got the 1 million there, and then earlier last year, this year actually, March, I think. If you look, Grok, you can look it up at any time, but I think it was between 400 and $500,000 that they cost people as well when there was a glitch in the price feed of the US stable coin or the stable coins on their network.
Yeah.
Causing
So
that.
I mean, oopsie is costing a lot of people a lot of money, and I think that that is unacceptable. And I think that that is the whole value proposition of the Flare network. It's just like if you have very reliable oracles that are pushing prices, then that price cannot be manipulated. So there's no oopsies. Oh, you got liquidated. Sorry, because that cannot happen on the Flare network. You have 100 validators, and those 100 validators are all agreeing on a price. And then if everybody agrees, they push the price. And if no one agrees, the price doesn't get pushed. It's very
That's what
simple, but very powerful at the same time.
that's kind of what Hugo's been preaching since they developed this and started working on it. Started working on Songbird. It's always been the same scenarios. Like 10 validators is not enough. 20 validators is not enough. You need north of 50 validators, and then you want them built into the network. Why do you want them built into the network? Because if you're fetching a price feed from somewhere else, for your network, you've now created a failure point, which is a huge what we're seeing happen, right? There's if you can manipulate that price feed data into the network, boom, you're cooked. So that's kind of the thing that's why everything you're seeing here is the things that Hugo has been just preaching and preaching about for years and years and years about the difference between, you know, why Flare works, why it's better, and what's going to make it unique. And it's proving to be right now, like let's be honest, the shakeout's happening really good. Like the low liquidity showing the stress test of these networks and the fault points, which to be honest, if you're a Flare person, dude, you're sorry that it's happening to people, but you're also going, look, guys, we told you, do your research, understand the options that are out there.
I mean, for sure. I'm sad for people that are losing money. Like that's never a good thing. But at the same time, we have been supporting Flare, doing it because we believe in the tech. And I think that the best results is when you use it. I had a call yesterday, a one-on-one, and this guy wanted to like learn about Flare. And at the end, he sent me a message to be like, "Man, after using this, it completely changed my view on crypto. Like completely changed my view." And I was like, "Yeah, I can brag that I have this fancy new car in my garage. And when you ask me to drive it, I was like, no, 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 it's in my garage. But like if you hop in the car and you drive it, and you're like, okay, this is amazing. There's no better way to do it than to test it. That Flare is a super cheap chain, 2 transactions to learn. All of those things are very valuable because like I don't even know how many millions of not millions, but thousands of dollars it would have cost me to do this learning journey on Ethereum mainnet. Like
Oh,
I don't even want to think about it. Sometimes I'm doing more than 100 transactions a day and I'm paying pennies for every transaction. Like, yeah. And then the other thing that I want to say to close this video, if people had an idea of how much Flare I burned in the last 30 days, you would not be bearish on Flare. Like, that's all I'm going to say. And this is just the beginning. Big institutions haven't come in. I think that it's very close. The next thing that is happening is you have the XRP smart accounts, which means that you can trigger any kind of Flare transactions within the XRP ledger. So you're going to be using your Shaman wallet, and then you can enter LPs. You can do all of those things directly from the XRP ledger. There's going to be a call, I think, next week, and there we're going to have more information. So I'm definitely going to make a video about that. But yeah, guys, future looks bright. Keep stacking. These market conditions are opportunities. If you're, what was that? I think that's also Charlie Munger, that you can only hold tight when you made the right decision. And that's exactly how I feel with XRP and Flare.
Oh, 100%. I think you've hit on something that most people don't really realize. If you want to bring up the AU part real quick, I mean, all of that F assets, that is retail, right? The that's not institutions. That is all retail, guys, which is insane. Like, think about that. We already know there's several hundreds of millions of XRP ready to come in from institutions, but all you're seeing on the interaction right now is full retail. So that's incredible, and not a whole lot of retraction, right? It's all retail. So that's the incredible thing. There's over a 100 millions, hundred several hundred millions of XRP ready to come into the network, but they're not there yet. And a lot of this back and forth, there hasn't been a whole lot of flow out of the FXRP, right? I mean, people are still there. It's very stable. It's growing actually. It's still growing, which is incredible.
For sure. And I think that another thing that I want to discuss is that we are moving into market conditions where the big sharks are here, and those big sharks are master market manipulators. And at the same time, they want to make sure that where they're going to put their money is where things are resilient and that a little stress test does not break them. So I feel like after this correction is over, which markets find bottoms every single time, like whoever tells you that it's doomsday and the Bitcoin is going to go to $5,000. I mean, I've heard that before. Another thing that I want to show you guys. Another thing that I want to show you guys. If we go to the 3-month chart, and this is why it's important to zoom out. Like this candle is smaller than this one, smaller than this one, and smaller than this one. So if you zoom out and you look at this, nothing has changed. Like nothing, absolutely nothing is out of the ordinary. I mean, last market correction was this, and look, it was very different. So just zoom out, don't stress. Markets will find bottoms, and then markets will continue. And like I said before, the way to do DeFi is when you are happy to be winning on both sides of the trade. If you're long FXRP or XRP, if the market goes down, you make more XRP. If the markets go up, you have more dollars. The same thing with Flare. Make sure that you're happy on both sides of the trade. And DeFi has changed my life. And I hope that by these discussions, you see the value in it, you take the time to learn it, and that it can change your life as well.
The only other thing I would add in there is, I tell you what, man, Cyclo Finance is incredible. Never did I ever think about my ETH stuff that I have. Not once did I care what happened was going on with ETH. Even though, like, when I was locking it up, I've got some locked up at between 4 and 5,000, right? And I don't care, right? Because there's no liquidation, so I could just let it sit and wait for it to correct.
For sure. FXRP is coming to Cyclo very soon. And that's also something to pay attention. We will be making some videos when that launches. And yeah, guys. All right. Until next time.